If you're a writer, you should know by now that when we say plot in literature, we do not mean a piece of land or to plan evil. A plot of a story is the step-by-step arrangement of cause and effect of a story. Stories are presented in an orderly manner so that readers can be able to follow what happened, how it happened, and why it happened. As a writer, having a good plot is very important in passing across your story. Therefore, designing a compelling plot is crucial for captivating your readers and keeping them engaged throughout your story. Here are some tips to help you craft a strong plot. Number one, define your premise. Clearly establish the central idea or theme of your story. What is the core concept or problem your characters will face? This forms the foundation of your plot. You just have to think about it, or else your story will end up running around like a headless chicken, no direction, just a roller coaster of wild elephants on a rampage. Take for instance, Chimamanda had picked religious extremism, tyranny, and abuse in Popular Hibiscus. Chinua Achebe had picked cultural clash and dilemma in Things Fall Apart, while Jude Idada had picked sickle cell anemia, presenting a case of loss, hope, and faith in Boom Boom. So, therefore, you have to always have a focus which drives your story. Number two, create a structure. Remember that in building a house, you follow a series of steps. All these steps are all connected in building the structure from the foundation right to the rooftop. Therefore, choose a plot structure that suits your story. It can be the classic 3-act structure where you have just setup, confrontation, and resolution. Here, setup being the point where the characters and settings of the story are introduced. Confrontation being the stage where problems are revealed, and then resolution being the eventual end of the story. One can also adopt a more non-linear approach. A non-linear approach is when the story is structured with the ending being the beginning and the beginning being the ending. In this case, lots of flashback techniques are used. First, plan the flow of your story based on how you want it to be told. Outline key plot points and events that drive the story on from start to finish, or how you want it to be presented. Take for example, number 1, boy goes to school. 2, boy meets girl. 3, they both fall in love. 4, their parents get to know. 5, they realize their relationship is not accepted by their parents. 6, they have to decide whether to hold on or let go of their relationship. 7, they decide to hold on. 8, this decision leads to them being disowned by their families. 9, after some years, their family end up accepting their decisions due to their resilience. 10, the story ends with a wedding and fanfare, with both families united and happy. Number 3, establish goals and obstacles. Your story will be boring if there are no challenges or troubles to deal with. Define clear goals for your main characters. These goals should be challenging and drive the action. Introduce obstacles and conflicts that prevent characters from easily achieving their goals. For example, in the movie Extraction, Rake, the main protagonist, was expected to free a child from some kidnappers and get paid for it. He succeeds in freeing the child from the kidnappers without much sweat. All that was left for him to do was to bring the child and get paid. Simple. That would have been the end of the story or the movie. But voila, more challenges spring up out of nowhere, with the father of the boy double-crossing them by refusing to pay and then sending his henchman Saju to steal the son from Rake. Rake had to deal with running on the wild street of Bangladesh, trying to avoid the police, armed gangs, and stubborn Saju. He had to hide in gutters, fall from rooftops, get knocked by cars, shot at, betrayed, and almost killed by his friend. He is finally shot in the throat and then falls over a bridge into a river. So what would have been a quick job for Tyler Rake for him to get paid turned into a wide experience of life and death due to the addition of more drama and obstacles. What a classic way of creating goals and challenges in order to drive the plot of a story. Additionally, building up challenges and problems for the characters can also help in rising tension in the plot of a story. Each major plot point should increase the stakes and push characters closer to their breaking points or goals. You can adopt the Freytag's plot triangle, which includes introduction, exposition, rising action, climax, point of heightened tension, where whatever decision will determine the direction of the story, falling action, conclusion, which is resolution, in identifying how to carefully build your conflict in order to increase tension. Number 5. Character-driven narrative. People connect more to a story or movie when they can connect with the characters in the story in terms of their experience, challenges, goals, successes, and failures. Thus, ensure that plot development arise naturally from your character's motivation, decisions, and conflicts. Characters should propel the plot forward through their actions and choices. Example: Joel Goldberg in the series You. Its seemingly good intentions, which appear innocent but deadly, drives him to engage in so many actions that propel the story, from him falling in love with Elizabeth, killing her manipulative boyfriend to protect her, winning her love, killing her best friend out of jealousy, and then eventually killing Elizabeth when he discovers that Elizabeth sees him as a monster after discovering all the evil acts he had to commit for her supposed sake. 6. Foreshadowing and twist. The beauty of a story is when a plot is unpredictable. When readers can't predict your destination, they're bound to stay, to want to read more, to find out where you are taking them to. Thus, use foreshadowing to hint at future events and twists, creating anticipation and surprise for your audience. Well-executed twists should be surprising, yet logical within the context of a story. Example: a lady comes back from work. She sits in her car for hours crying. She walks into her room, takes a shower, comes out looking happier. She joyfully cooks, singing and dancing. Her husband comes in. She welcomes him with excitement. She serves him his favorite meal. And then, at the point of eating, she asks him if he was enjoying his meal. He admits enjoying it. They talk about their love for each other, their good times and moments shared, with sincere joy and laughter. She encourages him to eat more meat, and then the mood changes as she reveals to him that she knows he has been cheating. She tells him that the meat he has been gorging himself on was that of his secretary in the office that he has been cheating on her with, that she had killed her, prepared her flesh with poison, and then served him to eat. Instantly, he appears choking. He collapses on the table, with the wife watching on with manic pleasure at the result of her revenge. Here, the suspense being that we see her crying, but we don't know why. We see her later joyful and smiling, but don't know what happened to have switched her from sadness to sudden joy. We start getting the hints that she's not normal, but we can't clearly say how come. She sits with her husband, smiling and happy as if she wasn't the same person we saw at the beginning crying. We sense something might go wrong, so we wait to see what it might be. Then voila, here comes the twist. We are suddenly hit with the fact that her loving husband was a cheat, and she, revengefully, is a murderer that had murdered her husband's secretary and then poisoned her husband. Using this technique helps in gluing and captivating your readers. Number 7. Subplots and layers. Develop subplots that complement and enrich the main storyline. These subplots can provide depth to characters, introduce new conflicts, or explore different themes. Additionally, this will help in making your plot not to be easily predictable. Number 8. Pacing and rhythm. Control the pacing of your story to maintain momentum and keep readers or viewers engaged. Balance quieter reflective moments with high energy action scenes or revelations. Failure to put this into consideration will lead to you having points in your story where the readers might become bored or tired. So let the plot flow like music with a beat or rhythm rather than a long stretch of similar momentum. Number 9, resolution and closure. Ensure that your story reaches a satisfying resolution. Tie up loose ends and provide closure for major plot threads and character arcs. Consider the emotional and thematic resonance of your ending. Number 10, revision and feedback. After drafting your plot, revise and refine it based on feedback. Look for opportunities to strengthen character motivations, clarify plot points, and enhance thematic coherence. By carefully designing your plot with these tips in mind, you can create a compelling narrative that captivates your audience